covering what matters to you. This is your local ABC News.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. Here's what's ahead for you on this Thursday night.
They took away life. They deserve life.
2 men sentenced to prison terms today for killing a longtime real estate agent in Yakima. We'll have more reaction from the victim's family and tell you how long Daniel Blizzard and Luis Gomez-Mañez will serve for killing Vern Holbrook.
To do something for somebody else, not just for yourself. That is what many people lack of, you know. To me, I like to give.
And a milestone birthday worthy of applause. Maria Gallington doesn't let her golden years slow her down. How this woman who is celebrating a century of life is doing all she can to be a positive influence in our community. Trust me, she puts a lot of the rest of us to shame. Those stories and much more straight ahead as the news on this Thursday starts now. And good Thursday evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I am Kevin Uretsky. Well, 2 men will spend decades behind bars after a Yakima County Superior Court judge hands down their sentences this morning. The 2 men were found guilty within just the last several weeks of killing longtime real estate agent Vern Holbrook in May of last year. Your local ABC's Eugene Buenaventura was at the hearing today, where Holbrook's family was in attendance and was unable to hide its ongoing pain.
Well, it was an emotional day for Vern Holbrook's family as both Daniel Blizzard and Luis Gomez-Mañez were sentenced a combined 60-plus years behind bars for his murder. Judge Ruth Rukoff hands down her sentence this morning, sentencing Daniel Blizzard to 34 years behind bars, Luis Gomez-Mañez 26. Both men were found guilty a few weeks ago for the murder of real estate agent Vern Holbrook. Gomez-Mañez accepted $10,000 from Blizzard to conduct a hit on Holbrook at a home west of Yakima last year. Holbrook was found beaten, his throat slashed, unable to speak. Those injuries would later lead to his death. Holbrook's family members and friends attended today's sentencing, each offering their own words against the 2 men responsible for their patriarch's death.
This just wasn't an attack on my grandfather, it was an attack on the whole family. Daniel knew each and almost every single one of us. Our trust, I will never trust like I did before after the attack.
They took away life. They deserve life.
Now, following his sentence, Blizzard declined to comment to the court. However, Gomez-Mañez said he was extremely sorry and wished he had not brought that pain upon the family. In Yakima, Eugene Buenaventura, your local ABC.
All right, thank you, Eugene. Meanwhile, 2 other suspects in this case, Jill Taylor and Adriana Mendez, had their charges dropped today after agreeing to testify at trial against both Blizzard and Gomez-Mañez. Meanwhile, the Yakima County coroner identifies the body found in a canal near Outlook earlier this week. The body is that of 33-year-old Jose Luis Ramirez Soto of Sunnyside, who was reported as missing by his family in late April. Ramirez Soto's body was found Tuesday morning in a truck that was submerged in a canal. The coroner says Ramirez Soto died as a result of drowning. His death does not appear to be suspicious. Well, let's change topics for the moment and talk about the weather on this early Thursday evening. Taking a look along Columbia Center Boulevard in Kennewick. Some clouds up above as we check out the Skycam. Let's visit with Chris Crocker now, who's got a first look at the forecast for us.
Good evening. We have on our satellite and radar some clouds and showers. Most of the wet weather is from the Cascades and points to the west, but some of that is making its way across the mountains. We have the best chance of showers overnight around Yakima, only a chance of rain around the Tri-City area. Temperatures right now in the 50s and 60s. It's 54 in Ellensburg, 59 in Yakima, 58 degrees in the Tri-Cities, 60 in Hermiston, 57 in Walla Walla, and 62 in Pendleton. A chance of rain overnight with lows down in the 40s. I'll be back with your 7-day forecast in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Chris. In news from Hanford tonight, a new report concludes that the U.S. Department of Energy does not have an adequate system to detect whether or not harmful vapors are sickening workers at the Hanford Nuclear Reservation. Dozens of workers over the past year have reported smelling vapors and then becoming ill after working around some of the site's 177 underground nuclear waste storage tanks. In most cases, workers were checked by doctors and then cleared to return to work. The report conducted by the Savannah River National Laboratory says that the vapors coming out of the tanks in brief puffs at high concentrations are intersecting with the breathing zones of those workers. You're looking at footage of the Hanford tank farms. Now, in response to the report, contractor Washington River Protection Solutions stating it began requiring the use of minimum half-face respirators for workers in the single-shell tank farms back in September. And a jury is now deliberating in the federal case against 4 people accused of cheating on their time cards at the Hanford tank farms. A 12-person jury started to deliberate the case this morning at the federal courthouse in Richland. Kenneth Baird, James Hay, Perry Howard, and Mark Johnson were all fieldwork supervisors. Each is accused of conspiracy to commit wire fraud, major fraud against the United States, and 2 counts of submitting false claims related to their supervision of Hanford workers. Well, of course, Election Day is on Tuesday, and yesterday I was able to conduct interviews with the 2 candidates in the top race in our area, Dan Newhouse and Clint Didier, who are competing to succeed Doc Hastings in representing Washington's 4th Congressional District. The interviews were purposely set up as mirror conversations, with both answering the same set of questions and also to get a better feel of them as people, not just as politicians or candidates. Here's their responses to this question. What's the biggest misconception about them? First, Mr. Newhouse on the assertion that he's a career politician.
I don't consider myself a career politician at all. I was elected when I think I was 46 years old. So that hardly makes me this is not something I've done my whole life. I'm still in my 50s. So I think that's probably one of the biggest misconceptions out there.
The biggest misconception of me is that I'm against the people getting their entitlements that they've paid into.
All right, fair enough.
That's the thing, that they've paid into this. They're entitled to it.
All right, fair enough. In this 4th district, conversations in full, and to hear the 2 answer questions about their strengths and weaknesses, the 4th district's biggest priority, and what they actually admire about each other. Log on to our social media sites on Facebook and Twitter. All you have to do is search Cap KView. Each conversation about 11 minutes long, so enjoy it and make sure you're educated before you send back your ballot. Well, Halloween is just about upon us. You might be putting together that last-minute costume or purchasing that last bag of candy to treat the neighborhood kids with. But unfortunately, when this holiday rolls around, drunken drivers often roll around as well. Safety, one of the main concerns for authorities again this year. Your local ABC's Ted Scroback now has some tips in order to keep any tricks out of your way tomorrow night.
Trick or treat.
Keep them close to us until they run up to the door. Flashlights, and we try and stay away from the roads.
They only go to places where they know the people.
That parent and grandparent that I spoke with at the Yakima Police Department's Trunk or Treat seemed to have the right idea. Most parents know basic steps to keep their children safe, but a lot of times pedestrian accidents on Halloween can't be controlled. According to the National Traffic Highway Safety Administration, Halloween continues to rank in the top 3 days of the year for pedestrian-related accidents. 48% of those accidents are caused by impaired driving. Yakima Police Department is upping their DUI patrol this weekend to combat that 48% statistic. The other 52%, that's where parents come in, and you can start by simply just joining your child while they trick or treat. Here are some more tips that authorities want people to know to trick or treat safely. Go where you know. Visit neighborhoods that are well lit and that the family is familiar with. See and hear. Make sure a costume allows your child to use all of their senses. Flashlights and reflect bright. Wear bright colored clothes, carry a flashlight, and use reflectors. Make a plan. Plot out the Halloween schedule with your children and make sure to always keep them in sight. So while some parents plan to get the maximum amount of candy,
Move fast. Hit more houses in the night.
that plan may want to be tweaked a bit to slow down for traffic and to slow that sugar intake. In Yakima, Ted Scroback, your local ABC.
All right, thank you, Ted. And as always, parents are urged to check their children's candy before they actually let the kids consume any. And there are plenty of local events taking place on Halloween, some of them in Prosser. Don't miss the Trick or Treat event on Main Street. It's a fun and safe Halloween alternative, 3 to 5 tomorrow. And in Kennewick, a couple of events. The Safe Treat Street Halloween event, say that 3 times quick, runs from 4 to 7 near the band shell in Columbia Park. Food booths, bounce houses, music and entertainment all featured. And the downtown Kennewick businesses, as per tradition, will give out candy from 3 until 5 from Dayton to Washington Streets along Kennewick Avenue down at the Parkade. And time is running out to check out Pasco's Haunted House, Project 13. More than 80 actors and volunteers helping to take people through terrifying experiments in Pasco. This haunted house even gives back to the community. Ticket sales will go to Camp Patriot, an organization that helps wounded and disabled veterans pursue outdoor adventures. Project 13 runs until 11 tonight, then tomorrow from 6 until 11. And your local ABC proud to be a sponsor and to help give back to our troops. Well, let's move on now to our question of the day on this Thursday. Here we go. This was the top selling candy this past year. Very simple, Halloween related. What is it? I'm just going to say it's M&M's. Lots of different varieties too. And if you have a guess, we'd love to hear it. You can leave your answer on our Facebook or Twitter pages. All you have to do is log on and search Cap Caveview. And still ahead tonight on your local ABC at 5. We all strive to make a positive impact in life. Now, one woman celebrating a major birthday milestone is not letting the golden years slow her down from making a difference in our community. And Winter Wonderland, Disney invites you to celebrate the seasons where you and your family can sing and dance along with some of your favorite characters. We have a bit of breaking news for you. We just got a call into our newsroom and we have an update on the story we just brought you a few minutes ago. The federal case against 4 people accused of cheating on their time cards at the Hanford Tank Farms. Kenneth Baird, James Hay, Perry Howard, and Mark Johnson all found not guilty. They were accused of conspiracy to commit wire fraud, major fraud against the United States, and 2 counts of submitting false claims related to their supervision of Hanford workers. All 4 found not guilty. Well, we all strive to make an impact on the community. Sometimes we do, other times we unfortunately fall short. We want to introduce you now, though, to a woman named Maria Gallington, who is not only celebrating a milestone birthday, but leaving a mark on our community while she does it. Your local ABC's Catherine Hessel here now in the studio to talk about Maria. You had a chance to talk with her today and tell us her story.
Kevin, Maria turned 100 years old today, and for the past 33 years, she's been a volunteer with Trios Auxiliary, handcrafting items for the hospital every Thursday.
Happy birthday to you.
Maria has logged more than 31,000 volunteer hours with the Trios Auxiliary. If you do the math, that's about 15 years at a full-time job.
To do something for somebody else, not just for yourself. That is what many people lack of, you know. To me, I like to give.
Maria spends every Thursday at the Trios Volunteer Center, knitting, sewing, or doing whatever needs to be done.
Yeah, I do all kinds of things that come my way. And if that is given to me to be done, I'll do it.
Her friends say hands down she's the most talented worker of the group.
She can knit, she can crochet, she can embroidery, she does her own design work, and she's delighted to be able to give it away.
Maria's really the mentor of the auxiliary.
Older ladies or younger ladies, whatever, come in and they say, oh, I would really like to know how to knit. Put them with Maria, she'll show you.
She says all these people celebrating her 100th birthday is a little unexpected.
But I think it's wonderful. I have seen many people coming and going. I'm still here.
With such a strong devotion to serve, this is the only place Maria would want to be on her birthday.
This is the only place I visit, I belong to. I do with them, for them, or wherever. This is my place.
Maria says she has no plans on stopping her volunteering anytime soon. Kevin.
Wonderful lady. Thank you, Catherine. And of course, happy birthday and congratulations to Maria. Well, let's take another look outside now, courtesy of the Skycam. Light traffic on Columbia Center Boulevard in Kennewick. Clouds overhead, though. Will they bring any more rain? Chris Crocker has the answer to that question coming up. The full forecast right after the break. Well, it's time now for Spotlight on the Arts, our weekly segment on the people, the performances, and the productions taking place in the local arts community. Tonight, your local ABC's Josh Peterson takes us to a unique new exhibit in Yakima.
Thanks, Kevin. This week I got to preview a new art exhibit opening this weekend in Yakima featuring dozens of artists from across our region. The 59th annual Central Washington Artists Exhibition is taking place at the Larson Gallery. The exhibit features pieces from artists in Yakima, Benton, Kittitas, and Walla Walla counties. The pieces are in a wide variety of artistic mediums, including watercolor, glass, jewelry, ceramics, photography, charcoal, collages, and many more. More than 200 pieces of art were submitted for this art exhibit, but only 83 of those were chosen to be on display. A guest juror from Port Townsend selected the pieces for this exhibit. The director of the Larson Gallery says visiting this exhibit is a great way to see the latest artistic trends and styles being used in our region.
Well, one thing about the Central Washington Artists Exhibit is we get to see what the artists around us are doing right now. So it's kind of like this year, where are they working, what styles are they working in? You kind of can follow what Central Washington artists are doing.
More than $4,000 in awards will be presented to several artists this weekend at the opening reception. Now, if you want to check out the art exhibit, it opens this Saturday at the Larson Gallery. The opening reception is from 3 to 5 p.m. and the juror who selected all the pieces will speak at 4. This exhibit will run through December 6th. It is free to check out. So if you love great pieces of art with vibrant colors and abstract shapes, you'll want to check out the 59th annual Central Washington Artists Exhibition. I'm Josh Peterson with your spotlight on the arts.
All right, thank you, Josh. But that's not the only show in town right now. Disney on Ice is bringing all your favorite characters to life. They're all coming together for a special performances, a number of them, called Let's Celebrate. And your local ABC's Lita Alicani taking us behind the scenes at the Toyota Center in Kennewick to show us how the characters are preparing for opening night.
Those Disney characters are actually practicing right behind me for tonight's opening show. There's going to be 16 different storylines with 50 different Disney characters and also a special Halloween segment. And I have one of those characters with me right now. Audrey here is going to play the role of Jasmine, right?
Hi, yes, I'm very lucky.
So all the little girls coming out here tonight, what should they expect from this show?
Well, they should expect lots of their favorite characters. As you said, we have over 50 characters on Disney on Ice Presents Let's Celebrate. But also not just the princesses. We have all the favorites, Mickey, Minnie, Goofy, Donald, Daisy, Pluto's here. We also are going to give them a chance to go all over the world. The show is called Let's Celebrate, and really it's a big party on the ice.
And talk a little bit, because I know we're all wondering at home about the challenges of being on the ice and trying to stay in character.
Well, as you can see, we do a lot of practicing, and we do 6 to 12 shows a week. So we're always constantly moving, constantly skating. You never know what's going to happen, but we thrive off the audience, and we just love performing for everyone.
That show opens up tonight at 7 p.m. There's going to be 6 more shows over Saturday and Sunday, so make sure you take some time to check it out. In Kennewick, Lita Alicani, your local ABC.
All right, thank you to Lita and to Princess Jasmine. Or Audrey. Tickets for the show are still available. They'll run you anywhere from $12 to $60 in the box office, or you can get them through Ticketmaster as well. And still ahead tonight on your local ABC at 5, of course, we'll have the answer to tonight's question of the day. Stay tuned. We're, of course, heading down the home stretch of your local ABC at 5, and your local ABC's Yasmin Hassan here with a preview of your only source for local news at 6:30.
That's right. Well, coming up tonight at 6:30, tonight is the 11th annual Candlelight Vigil to raise awareness about domestic violence in our community. 39 life-size silhouettes are being placed around John Dam Plaza, each representing an individual killed by domestic violence. Your local ABC's Catherine Hessel is headed out to the vigil. She'll show us what it's taking place and how local services are trying to prevent any more silhouettes from having to be made.
All right, just enough time to show you the answer to the question of the day. The most famous candy, best-selling candy last year was Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. World News is next.